Hi, Stamper fans. Welcome back to another Make It Monday. I am Nan Gerlitz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Bloomington, Illinois, and I am here live on my Facebook page every Monday night at 7 p.m., except for last Monday. Holidays and all, so we skipped last Monday, and I missed you all, but I'm very glad I took the week off, spent some time with my family and some friends, and kicked back, did some organizing. We got a lot of projects done around the house last week. My husband and I were both off from our day jobs. And so, my gosh, he was crazy productive. I was pretty productive in a different way. And I was hopeful. So that was good. So welcome back. I'm happy to be back. But again, happy I took last week off. That was a good decision. Pretty sure I'll do that every year. So if you are watching live, go ahead and drop a comment and say hi. And if you're watching the replay, I'm so glad you decided to join me. You can also drop a comment so I know who has stopped by. I do keep track of those and I get notifications. So if you have any questions on this live, even if you are watching the replay, go ahead and drop a comment, or you can send me a message and I will get back to you on that as well. So. All right, what else? Happy New Year. It's a very good year so far. 2 days in, nothing bad's happened. I do want to remind you all that we are saying goodbye to our July through December mini catalog in just like 2 days. So Wednesday is the last day to order anything from this. A lot of the products that are going away have already sold out, but there are still some good deals to be had on our last chance product sale. You can check out the link in the description for the last chance product sale. Some of the discounts are up to 60% off. Some things are full price, but still retiring. So that particular link will get you just to the things that are going away. So be sure to check it out before Thursday. So by Wednesday the 4th. Because after Wednesday the 4th, those products won't be available. They might show up on a clearance rack. You never know, but it could take years. So you definitely don't want to wait until then. So, all righty. So today we are making my winning card. Yay, back in the winner circle from Friday Night Stamping. One of my favorite stamp images is this tree, I'll tell you. So let's go ahead and flip our camera down. There we go. And we can get started talking about this. I'm also going to show you the other 11 designs of this designer paper at the end of this video, so be sure to stick around. Hello, Penny, and Happy New Year. We all made it. Yeah, this past, Saturday was New Year's Eve. This past Saturday night, we actually went out for the first time in years. We normally don't. Way back when we were in our early 20s, we went out. And then we called it amateur night for a long time. And then we had kids. And so we stayed in with our kids. And we're empty nesters now. So, and there was a place nearby that had karaoke on New Year's Eve. So doggone it, we went out. And it was very interesting. It was fun, but it was also very interesting people watching, let me tell you. Yeah, amateur night is alive and well, people. So, yes, so we made it. We had fun. We had a blast. We had our family Christmas finally yesterday. We were supposed to have it before Christmas because our daughter and her family were leaving town for Christmas. And then our son got sick the week before. So we finally caught up with everybody and we had like 3 Christmases really between all of it. So, but all is good. And it was good to see the boys again for sure. I've missed them. So, as always, I have put a full supply list with cardstock measurements in the description, so you can follow that link to get all the deets on what I'm using and how big everything is. So you don't have to worry about writing down and all of that. You can always rewatch the video, of course, but you can click that link for all of those details as well. So the main thing I'm using tonight is this really gorgeous designer paper. It is called Dandy Designs. It is brand new for Celebration. So it's a freebie. We love those. That starts on Thursday. And let me show you this cool fun fold here. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this fun fold. It's one of my favorite fun folds. Super, super easy. And I made 11 more cards just like it in no time. So I'll show you. All right, so starting off tonight, we are going to start off with our Happy Hedgehog set, which I keep overlooking, even though I do love hedgehogs, but I love this tree, you guys, and you all love it too. Like a lot of you loved it. So this tree and this butterfly are just like so awesome on my list. And I do like the sentiments too. You've got that little bit of grass. So we'll probably pull out those hedgehogs come springtime because they deserve a little love as well. I'm also using tonight, I'm turning this into a thank you card. And since there wasn't a thank you in this set, I'm pulling out the thank you from our art gallery stamp set. So I've also added this stamp set to the supply list in case any of you love it as much as I do. Really good images and a lot of great sentiments in here. So I will be using that tonight because I got Christmas gifts and now I need thank you cards. So I decided to turn all of these extras into thank you cards. We're using 2 ink pads tonight, our Memento Tuxedo Black because we're coloring, and also Calypso Coral because that matches our cardstock. Speaking of cardstock, oh wait, first more inks. So I'm only using 2 colors of the blends, and that is the Fresh Freesia, which is one of my favorite colors, and Petal Pink, which is super, super light. And I got those from the designer paper. So you'll notice that, you know, we've got some of these colors in here. So I just pulled a couple of those that I had blends for, and that's all I did with the coloring. Okay, as for cardstock, we are starting out with Calypso Coral, but this one you might notice looks a little different than normal. It's going to end up being the same size card I always make. I just cut it in half the other way. So I've got a full sheet here to show you. So this one is 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and it is scored at 5 1/2 inches. So I will show you here. Let me get that a good score. And let me show you how the base comes together. So I've got my trimmer, which I also will need in a minute. But normally when I'm doing my cards, I always tell you they're 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So on that, on a regular 8 1/2 by 11 piece of cardstock, you cut it in half at the 5 1/2 mark, and you can get 2 card bases out of it. This one, what we did was we cut it in half this way at 4 1/4. And then we'll score it at that 5 1/2, and we'll get 2, as we call them, hot dog folds. So if you imagine you've got that one that's kind of fatter, and so we call that a hamburger fold. And we call this one a hot dog fold because it's longer and skinnier. So when you are making cards, I will tell you a little, especially if you're making lots of cards, you've got a lot of thank yous, you've got a lot of Christmas cards, you've got birthday invitations, anything that you're making multiples of and you're doing identical designs, or even if you're just sitting down to make one card, why not make 2? You've got a full sheet of cardstock. So what I recommend you do, so this one, we want to score at 5 1/2, right? So do the score line first. So I'm going to score this at 5 1/2, and then I'll turn it the other way, and I'm going to cut it at that 4 1/4. So now I have 2 card bases and they're already both scored, ready to go. So that saves you a little bit of time. I know it's like a few seconds, but every second counts, right? Especially if you're doing multiples, or if you only have, 10 minutes to sit down to make a card. If you cut all the supplies for 2 of them at the same time, you can make 2 in 10 minutes, and then you have an extra, left over. You can make it whatever you want. Just put a different sentiment on it. So the other things we are using tonight is the same design of this designer paper. So all of these cards are the exact same piece of designer's paper. I have just flipped one of them. So you're going to see both sides of all of them tonight. But one piece is 5¼ by 4. Can't think tonight, guys. And the other one is 4 by 2 5/8. And you'll see why in a minute. We also are using 2 pieces of basic white. You'll notice I did most of my stamping already. And these are both 4 by 2 3/8. And again, you'll see why in a minute. Okay. The other thing we are using is our iridescent pearls. Love these. Like, I don't know if you can really get a good view of how shimmery they are. So, I mean, pearls are nice and shiny anyway, but these have just this iridescent coating to them. Really super pretty in person. Okay, let's get started. That was a lot of detail, you guys. Okay, so, and I already stamped this ahead of time because I was stamping all 11 of those over the weekend and stamped an extra. So I thought, what the heck, I'll just use that tonight. And you guys know how to stamp. So first thing we're going to do is make our fun fold part. And this is why I love this, because you don't need extra things. You don't really even need a lot of measurements. You're going to take that card base and you're going to cut one end of it off. Doesn't matter which. And that's going to be at 2 5/8. And why are we doing 2 5/8, you might ask? Because that is half of 5½. So we're really just cutting the front of the card in half, okay? And now this guy, I need a new blade, you guys. That's a little. This guy is going to get turned sideways, and that is what's going to make that awesome fun fold. Super simple. I love the fact that you still just need the half a sheet of cardstock, but this is why we cut it the other way, that hot dog fold, because you need it to be skinny. All right, so let's go ahead and attach our pieces of designer paper. So I'm going to, I think I'll flip this. Yes, I decided to flip this so it was going to be opposite of what I did the other day. So the skinny piece, now you remember this is 2 3/8 because this part was 2 5/8. So we just needed it to be a little skinnier. So you had a edge all the way around. And then the big one's going to go in the middle. So just a little adhesive on each corner. And yes, we got our adhesive. We're so excited. I mean, we were down to the dregs of adhesive, you guys, after Christmas cards. It was craziness. So we were very happy last week. We went out of town overnight and came home, and there was my box of goodies with 4 new refills of adhesive and another big guy of liquid glue and all sorts of other stuff, and like 9 different packs of cardstock because we were running low on lots of cardstock, envelopes, all those good basics. But then I got some new fun goodies too, so always fun. Okay, so that's our basic card base. Super, super simple. We are going to color next. Actually, let's stamp our little greeting. So we'll grab our Calypso Coral. And doggone if I did not grab a block. Be right back. So on your supply list, I actually put block I think it is, which is the long skinny one. And that will actually fit all of this, the whole thing on there if you wanted. I did this in a separate color, so you could do your tree and your butterfly just like I did. Clean those, remove them, and then put your sentiment on that same block if you want. If you're lucky like me, you have different size blocks, you can grab a different one. We need our little thank you. And even though this is photopolymer, I tend to line them up still because, you know, I like things to be straight, right? Some people I know that have stamped, sometimes the grid lines throw them off, especially when they're lining up paper on other paper, right? So you do what works for you. I always share my tips with you. So one of my tips is always that I like to line my sentiments up on my block straight with the grid paper, and then I can line the block up with the grid paper again when I'm stamping, and straight. I love it. Give that a quick clean. I stamped so much and like didn't take care of all my stamping stuff. My my chamois were like practically all dried out, both of them, because we have 2 half sheets down here that so we each have kind of our own while we're stamping on Friday nights. And they were both pretty darn dry. So I don't have a sink in my basement. Someday we are planning that. So that will be a joy when that happens. So I don't have to run upstairs to get those all wet down and dry and cleaned off again. Okay, so now we will color. So I'm going to start off with my petal pink. Let's do the dark. I didn't want to introduce a green into here because the green that goes with this pack of paper is granny apple green, which is very bright and vibrant. And I didn't feel like it went with this particular card. So I just, pick whatever you want. Branches and leaves and things can be whatever color you want. If you want them to be purple, let them be purple. So I picked my petal pink. Oops, and I want to do the bullet tip. And I just literally went down the branch here in the trunk and just to kind of very haphazard. Colored a few of these guys just so to give them a little character, right? And then I came in on the leaves. I really did a very scribbly job on this coloring. I love this tree for that as well. It's kind of forgiving and you can do a lot of kind of out of the line coloring. The images are not really big, so there's not a lot of room for blending color. It's really mostly just pick a color, color it in. So super, super simple. So if you are a beginning colorer, or if you are a little hesitant to color things, dive right into this one. I'm not even going to bother with the light petal pink because as you can see, the dark is pretty light already. It just gives kind of a little halo effect. I'm going to take my light fresh freesia and give that butterfly a little outline, and I think I'll do his body in the light as well. And then I'll take these big flowers and do them in the light. And you can tell I'm being so super careful, right, guys? Literally just leaving some white space, going outside the lines a little. It's like whatever. It's super simple to color this tree. I did forget to do the grass, so let's add a little grass there. And if any of the colors aren't dark enough for you, like that dark petal pink is still pretty light, you can always go over it a few times and keep deepening that color. I wanted mine super light, so it's fine. I'm going to take the dark fresh freesia and do those little buds of flowers so they're a little darker because they're not open yet, right? Just gives it a little bit of a different look there. And there we go. Super simple, very easy tree to do. We will attach that to our front now. Again, this is 2 3/8 inch. This one is 2 5/8 inch. So you're going to have that nice little border all the way around. Now, here's another trick for you. Obviously, if I put adhesive like I normally do and put this on there, this whole card wouldn't open. So you only want adhesive on the top. So what I do is I flip that piece over so the top is still up here, and then I know I can't put adhesive anywhere below there. So really just a couple of lines up top there. That's all you need. And then I'll just flip this over. I'll decide about where I want it. Now it still opens. Okay, now I will give you another little hint for attaching the inside piece. A little bit of schmutz on there. Okay, I'm going to do adhesive like I normally do, top and bottom. But here is how you make sure it's centered under this panel so you don't see it peeking out. Open your card up, adhesive side up, just kind of center it there, and then flip that whole thing closed. And now it's right where it needs to be, covered up, so it's a little surprise waiting for them when they open it up. One last thing we're going to do on this is add some pearls, but I wanted them to have a little bit of color. So I'm going to take my dark fresh freesia. You could take a darker one like Blackberry Bliss would probably be really good, or like a Gorgeous Grape, something like that, anything in the purple family. And I'm going to take the brush tip and go over it with the side and then kind of ring around it. And I'm just going to keep layering color on. And this is a very subtle one because the color is so light, okay? So it's not going to make a huge difference, but I don't know. I liked it. And I do want to let you know that you can color on your pearls and on your rhinestones. Like your rhinestones and those kind of gems do have those kind of cut rigid edges. So you want to make sure that you're using the side of your brush tip, not the tip, because you will kind of wreck your tip on those. So make sure. All right. You guys are so quiet tonight. Let's get these guys off of here and onto here. And you'll notice, of course, I did 3 because I always do it in 3s, don't I? And that is how simple it is to make this card and this fun fold. So you'll see, clear out there. We've got the 2 different patterns shown. I just flipped them, right? Cute. I added some grass to that one. But super simple. I love this as well when you're not sure, like maybe you don't know the person very well, or maybe you just talked to them and spilled all the stuff that you needed to spill, and you just want to write them a cute little note. This doesn't give you a lot of writing space. So if you're intimidated by the big blank card, this is the perfect kind of thing for you. So, cooking dinner again. All right. Yes, this fun fold is great. Actually, the Stamper Man loves this fun fold as well. And he uses it. He's used it quite a few times. So, okay. So I also wanted to tell you this designer paper, remember, is part of Celebration. So it is a freebie, and I can't show you the inside quite yet. Thursday, I can show you the inside. But the whole pack is free with a $100 order. And there's, I believe, 48 sheets. Let me double check. Yeah, 48 sheets in this pack. It's a huge pack of paper. And now let me show you all of the things that are in it. So there's one pattern. And I also want to show you which colors are going to go with this. Because I realize I talk about the colors a lot, but this was a fun little way for me to show you and me which goes with it. So we've got Balmy Blue. We've got Coastal Cabana. We've got Fresh Freesia, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, Petal Pink, and Calypso Coral. So you can see this pack of paper covers you from like cool tones all the way through some warm tones, lots of different colors. It could go masculine, feminine, in between, kids, adults. It really covers everything. So let me show you the different patterns here. Here we've got fun stars, and on the other side are these great flowers. Love it. Super psyched about the stripes. Okay, dudes, I love Mango Melody. I love stripes. And then you've got this cool kind of rounded square pattern on the inside, or the other side, I should say. And I actually still pulled in Petal Pink. Well, one of those reasons is because we don't have a Mango Melody blend. And I think we should. So everybody should email the company and tell them to get a Mango Melody blend. And then we've got this cool plaid. How fun is that plaid? It's actually, I think that's the fresh freesia in there. And then the stars on that one. And we've got some nice zigzags with a, like a hexagon. There we go, we can see it there. So that is a super subtle pattern, which is really nice. If you want to actually stamp something on there, you'd still be able to see it. It wouldn't be competing with the pattern, but it gives you some texture. So that's fun. Another plaid with a nice check on the other side. And I just used, for coloring, I just stuck with those 7 colors. Well, 6, because I didn't have mango. Here's this rounded square again. I absolutely love that. And then we've got monotone flowers on the inside, or on the other side of that one. Some greens and blues here. So we've got another one of those zigzags just in some of the other colors. And then this cool, I'm thinking that it might be March's calendar for next year, right? That's a good like Irish color. So for St. Patty's Day. Got another one of those plaids. Love that with the hexagon pattern on the other side. See, this is how much paper you get, guys. I'm running out of room. More stripes and polka spots. We love polka spots. And we call them polka spots because when our 32-year-old daughter was little, that's what she called them. So that's what they've been ever since. More polka spots. Love this one so much. And stripes again. I love stripes. So good. And lastly, we have another one of these rounded squares with the check on the other side. So that's another thing that I like about this pack of paper. So you've got the rounded squares here, but it's got flowers on it. You've got the rounded squares here, but they've got a check on it. And the rounded squares here had stripes. So not everything is together. You know, this grid was with plaid, but this grid was with those rounded squares. So my gosh, look at all those cards. They are so pretty, even if I do say so myself. But again, all that same fun fold. It was super simple. And I'll tell you, when you're doing multiples of something, it's actually takes you less time because once you have that one done, you know all the measurements and you can go cut all of the rest of those things very easily. And then it's just assembly line. A lovely assortment. I agree. Super, super fun. I do absolutely love this paper pack. In fact, I love it so much, I got 2 packs of it because I forgot that I already had one and got another one free with my order. So because as demonstrators, we get to do that like a month early before anybody else. So I've already been able to earn celebration freebies. So if you're jealous, come join us. You can do it too. Okay. Oh, and I keep forgetting to do this every time we have a live. So I finally remembered.
That was easy.
That button literally sits right here and I forget to do it every week. So once again, celebration starts on Thursday. It's our biggest promotion of the year, always. And it only goes from Thursday to the end of February this time. And we will only have one in 2023. The last few years, we've had 2 of them, but we will not have another one in summer. So this is it for celebration. Make sure you hop on there and check that out. Also starting on Thursday is our new mini catalog, which will run from January through April this time. Again, I can't show you the inside. I can only show you the pretty, pretty cover. And I can show you the back cover with lots of prettiness on there as well. But that all starts on Thursday, and you'll be able to see everything in both of those in my online store. So that link is in the description as well. So you can always check that out. Let me flip the camera here. There we go. So yes, lots of good stuff starting on Thursday. And of course, as always, Paper Pumpkin subscription time ends on the 10th of each month. So if you want the next Paper Pumpkin kit, make sure that your subscription is either active or you subscribe to start with by the 10th of the month. And we'll probably be talking a little bit more about that next week. So, as always, if you have learned anything from this, if you've enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd share it. If you ever want to save a video to come back for it and not have to scroll through my page, you can click the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner and click save, and that will save in your little saved thing. So you can always come back to that a lot easier as well. Yeah, I think that's about it for me. So I will be sharing more projects made with this paper pack, the Dandy Designs, all this week on Facebook. So make sure you're checking back every day for a new project. And I've got some really sweet ones for you. So pretty happy about them. All right. As always, thanks for joining me, and I will see you next Monday at 7, same bat time, same bat channel.